Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Deanna. If you're new here, I am a fashion content creator over on Instagram. I also used to be a makeup artist, so I really enjoy doing makeup, and recently I've been really liking doing more of a full face, which is kind of abnormal for me. I have a lot of really natural tutorials also on my YouTube, so if you want something more natural, go there. But today we're doing more full glam, definitely a lot of layers, a lot of products, a lot of steps, but I really like the end result, and it's perfect for like shooting or if you have photos, anything like that. So if you want to see how I got this look, then stay tuned. Let's get started. So like I said in the intro, I am doing a little bit more of a full coverage look today. I have to do a Princess Polly haul for YouTube, which is probably already live, so if you haven't watched that, check that out. But I have to wear like a little bit more makeup because I'm gonna be on camera, and yeah, I've just been like liking doing a little bit more full coverage lately. I don't know if anyone else goes through phases like this where you kind of like remember what you look like with a lot of makeup on, and you're like, oh, okay, she's cute. Okay, so I've been using the Hourglass Vanish foundation sticks recently. I have a few different shades. I have beige and golden. So since this is more full coverage, I am doing foundation, which I haven't been doing a lot recently. I've just been doing more like concealer, just where I need it. And it's been nice to just switch it up and do a little foundation. So I just kind of put that all over. And then I'm taking my It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Complexion Perfection brush, it's number 7. And I just kind of buff that out. And then since I'm being extra today, I'm gonna go on top of that with the Bare Minerals Liquid Mineral Foundation in Neutral Medium 15. And I'm just gonna pump some of it onto my brush and just kind of distribute it. I've been trying out the Hourglass concealer. I like it, but it is really, really thick. I just feel like if I'm super dry, it doesn't look very good. So I'm going back to my Old Faithful, which is a combo of the Bare Minerals Liquid Mineral Concealer in Light Medium and the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Madeline. So I just got that under my eyes, and then we're gonna let that sit for a second. And then for any little blemishes on my face, I'm going in with the Bare Minerals concealer. So I'm breaking out so bad right now on my chin because I'm about to get my period. So, and I'm just blending this out with that same It Cosmetics brush. I just find that since it already has foundation on it, it makes everything just melt a little more. Okay, and then blending out my under eyes with this Hourglass brush, which is amazing. I think it's a concealer brush, but it's kind of angled, super dense. The size is really good for under eye blending. So it just fits in this little pocket really good. And I just tap that in. Especially with my under eyes, since they're really dark. I don't like go in and buff it out really. I just like to kind of tap. So that's concealer done. And then before that has a chance to get creasy, I like to set that. So I'm gonna go in with a light layer of the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. If you guys have watched my more natural makeup tutorials, I think I've used this before. Another product I've been using for years that I just love. Taking this Hourglass brush and just really lightly setting that. It's like the thinnest under eye powder I've ever found that still keeps my concealer in place and brightens, but isn't super heavy. And then you guys have seen this product in my last couple tutorials, but it's the Bare Minerals concealer in the shade Well Rested. So it's like the concealer version of their face makeup, I believe. So I just take this little Morphe brush. This is a M218. I take the tiniest bit. It's really full coverage, so I'm gonna go easy with it. And then I swirl it into the cap. And then I very, very lightly touch my skin with this product. If you pack it on, it's gonna look super cakey. So I just very lightly Dust this in here. I swear this product has made such a difference in my routine. The worst dark circles, so anything that helps them come down. I feel like a little nervous when I recommend this product because it's kind of finicky. But as long as you go light with it, I feel like it's so worth it. And you could use it by itself too, so you wouldn't have to put a liquid on first if you didn't want to. And then I like to brighten up this area right in here with that. And then this also looks really good down the center of the face. So I take a little bit more and set in between my brows. And what this is gonna do is bring this part of the face forward. So I don't have a whole lot of like volume in this area in between my brows. So kind of just brings it forward and gives the face a little more dimension. I'm just taking that last brush I was using, the Hourglass one, and buffing everything out. And then next up is one of my new favorite products. It's the Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer. I'm just using the other end of that Hourglass brush. And then go into the hollows of my cheeks. Okay, next I'm going in with some cream blush. This is the Patrick Ta cream and powder duo in She's That Girl. So just take a little brush. This is from Sephora, super random. Take a tiny bit of that, and then I've been trying to do my blush higher up and not look so like a millennial by putting it right on the apples of my cheeks, but that's just kind of where I like it. So I've been trying to switch it up, keep it kind of like higher on the cheekbone here. And then I'm gonna take the Nude Sticks matte blush in Sunkissed. I like this blush a lot, but it's just a little bit too dark for me to use alone. I just like a brighter blush. I feel like it makes me look a little healthier, so I mix the two. If I'm doing a quick makeup look, I don't do both of these, but the combo is really pretty. You can kind of go across the cheeks and the nose. I've just always done this with my makeup. I like to look kind of like burnt. And then you can even put a tiny bit on your eyes, kind of in the crease. I'm gonna put powder there, but just to tie in the cheeks with the eyes. Now, one more blush step, and then I promise I'm done putting blush on. I'm gonna use the Patrick Ta powder in that same duo. It's a really big fluffy It Cosmetics brush, and this just kind of sets it in place. I feel like blush always disappears really fast on me, so I put on a ton in hopes that it kind of lasts all day. Almost done with skin, so next I'm gonna go in with the Hoola bronzer by Benefit, a little MAC angled brush, and I'm gonna tap this on top of where we put that Milk bronzer. And same thing with the blush, we're gonna just kind of set the bronzer. I don't know about you guys, but when I get my period, I get so swollen, like right around my jawline. So I can't really do the whole like bronzer, baking powder. Like I don't like this area of my face to be super light just because it's already kind of swollen and I don't want it to look swollen. So I'm a little weird in that sense where I put bronzer down here as well to kind of make it look a little less swollen. And then I'm gonna take a small eyeshadow brush. This is a Morphe M441. I love this brush. It's really good for nose contour and getting more of like a defined crease in your eyeshadow. And then while I have that Hoola out, I'm gonna go into my crease and and I hold the brush really far down towards the end, just so that way I'm not applying too much pressure. And I've been really liking putting a lot of product right here at the center or the front of my brow, so that it kind of connects to my nose. It creates a little more definition right there. And then I'll just blend it out into the corner. I also feel like this makes the front of my brows look a little bit fuller and a little bit more natural when I fill them in, because they're just connected to everything instead of just floating right here. And my lids are starting to crease a little bit, so I'm gonna go in and blend those out a tiny bit with that concealer brush from earlier. And I'm gonna go in with this Beauty Counter classic eyeshadow palette and a small little brush to kind of pack this color on. I'm gonna use the color Ivory. I've been liking doing this step when I'm doing a little bit more makeup, because it just makes my eyes look like I tried a little bit harder. So I just start packing this on from my inner corner up into, like, to meet where we just put that bronzer. And this will just make my eyes look a little more open and awake and brighter. Not much of a difference, but just that little extra something. And then I take a little bit of this too and do like a tiny nose highlight. I'm gonna go in with some setting spray now. This is the Oak and Fort O Mist. Set my face. And then going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, I think this is called. I'm using the highlight side with a really fluffy eyeshadow brush and doing some highlight. I also add to that section here that I was saying I like to bring forward, so I put the highlighter there as well. All right, so I think skin is done. I might just go in with a little bit of setting powder just because I know I'm like shooting and stuff all day. So I normally don't like to do this step because I feel like it just kind of feels heavy, but going in with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder in Honey, and so I'll just use like a big fluffy brush. This is also Laura Mercier. I like this brush because it's like a dual fiber, so it's not super dense. It's not gonna apply a lot of powder at once. I'm gonna just add a little bit of that Hoola bronzer to my bottom lash line, very lightly. I'm trying to keep my lash line pretty clear of product lately, like not putting a whole lot of shadow or mascara, just because I kind of feel like it makes me look more tired. So just a little bit of that, and then I'm going to curl my lashes and put mascara on. Okay, so going in with this clear soap from Whole Foods. You can use any clear soap, will work. It's pretty funny seeing all of these companies come out with like brow freeze and brow, like whatever they're called, like brow gels that basically keep the eyebrows super up and in place. Because I've been doing the soap trick for probably 3 years now, so I don't know why it took so long for everyone to jump on board, but I'm still trying to decide if I want to spend the money on one of those products when I could just use this bar of soap that was like $2, and I know it works just as good. So getting that wet with that spray from earlier, using a little spoolie. I'm just gonna brush the hairs up. The only thing I feel like would be nice about one of those products, like the Anastasia Brow Freeze, is that it's really clear. So the one thing about soap is that even though it is clear, sometimes it tends to dry a little bit like flaky, and the flakes look kind of like creamy colored. If that makes sense. That sounds weird. That's like the only downfall. So I try to just make sure that they don't have the flakes if possible. But I think the freeze would be nice in that sense, that hopefully it wouldn't dry down to a funky color, but I don't know. Have any of you tried it? Let me know your thoughts. I feel like everyone loves it, but I'm kind of like, I've been doing this for so long that I'm not super excited by it or anything. I don't think it's like a life-changing product because, you know, I already have the soap. So we're gonna let those sit for a little bit and then move on to eyeliner. So I showed this product on stories a couple weeks ago, but it is the Sephora liquid eyeliner, waterproof in brown. I'm going to look down into a mirror, and I shared this on stories, kind of how I do my eyeliner with downturned eyes. My method to the madness is to look down into a mirror, and then I'm going to follow the line, my lower lash line. So see how mine goes up? Like this outer corner here goes upwards, it doesn't go out. So this probably looks weird to a lot of people the way I do this, but I just try to follow my natural eye shape instead of creating a new one. So I start with the outer line and I follow that lash, the bottom lash line. Create my outer wing line, very subtle. And then I start to connect it to my top lash line. I'm just kind of like sketching that little area. Pull the line inwards. And then to finish off the brows, we're gonna go in with the Glossier Brow Flick. I recently got the color Blonde in addition to brown because I just feel like it's kind of nice to have something lighter to use in the inner corner here to make the brow look a little more three-dimensional and not just all really dark. The blonde is also really nice for some freckles, so we'll do that too, but I'll start with blonde. I just take this. Okay, and then going in with the brown, I'm going to just fill in any little gaps. I've been doing this little trick with my brows where I like them to be as arched as possible so that my eyes and my face are lifted. I just like to pull this little part up so I can see where I want that arch to be. Like where my brow would naturally pull up. So like right here is where my arch is. So I make that part the highest. If this makes any sense. And then that way when I release the brow, it stays in that like lifted shape that I want. So just doing really small, very light hair-like strokes. I'm gonna go in with that Beauty Counter palette one more time, and the other side of that spoolie brush is just a little angled brush, and use the color Sable. And what I like to do is just kind of go in and add just a tiny bit to the gaps of my brow, just so they look a little bit more naturally full instead of like I put in a bunch of hair strokes. This is something I've been doing recently that I feel like kind of softens them a tiny bit. Okay, and then to finish off the look, I'm gonna finish my lips, obviously. I'm going to take a little bit of the bronzing side of the Charlotte Tilbury palette and this little Laura Mercier brush, which is one of my favorite brushes of all time. I still really want to do a makeup brush video for you guys, but I don't know if anyone really wants to see that. Just like it's kind of boring, but I love this brush. Really good for under the eyes. You can do a little nose contour with it. Even like, I'm just gonna do it right now. Take a little bit of that Charlotte Tilbury shade, which is nice because it's kind of more gray, so it'll look a little bit more like a shadow than the Hula's going to, but really good for this little section. It's just such a nice shape. It's not super small and precise. I'm getting distracted and carried away. I'm gonna take a little bit and do some lip contouring. So just going along the outside edge of my lips, kind of where I would put liner. This will make them look a little bit bigger. I've been also doing this trick for a million years, and I feel like TikTok is just ruining everything for me. Not ruining it, but just, it's just funny to see all these like makeup artist tricks that have been used forever. Like circling back around, and all these like Gen Z TikTokers are claiming them. Like, look at this already. I've been loving the Charlotte Tilbury Hot Gossip lip liner lately, but I'm gonna use just a really light amount of it. So I'm gonna start with my Cupid's bow. Just doing a little bit. And then I'm just gonna take my finger and kind of like blend that in. And then going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick, and I'm just gonna pat this in. I've probably said this before in a tutorial, but I never swipe my lipstick, I always pat it. The Charlotte Tilbury Seduction Lip Gloss is amazing. I love the color, but also her lip glosses are so hydrating. I feel like I don't need chapstick before using them, so I feel like the more it sits on my lips, the more it hydrates them, which is nice. Okay, so we are all done. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I am sure this is gonna be a little bit lengthy, so if you made it this long, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them below. You can always DM me too. I will link everything for you below as well. And yeah, let me know if you try any of these like little tips and tricks or any of the products I use. I really like hearing that my recommendations worked out for you guys. And yeah, I'll see you next time.